5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team pick. Dire team pick. Five seconds remaining.
Welcome back. In the pointy end of the qualifier, we're getting into the last couple of days, and this is what it all comes down to. It's a single elimination bracket. We've got TNC and Fnatic on this side. We have time, so if you're interested in Clutch versus Execration, that'll be happening, I think, just on Dota TV. I don't know if there's a stream, but I'm BaseKip. It's great to be casting for you guys, and joining me here for this SEA showdown, this grudge match, is Lumi. So Lumi, what do you make of it?
Well, this is, I believe, the number 2 and the number 3 SEA teams, as Mineski is generally the team that is always taking up the SEA invites. So these two teams are duking out, and recently, it's Fnatic getting the best of a couple of them, and TNC needs to strike back. But I'm pretty sure what everyone is all kind of worried about right now is the departure of Ohio, and new member of the team is going to be Universe.
10 seconds remaining.
And did you check whether Universe is going to be playing in SEA, or is he playing in?
It looks like he is in SEA, at least from what I could tell. I can pull up the console again. I don't actually know what his he's got 11 ping, so he has very unlikely that he's anywhere else. Actually, physically impossible, but but there you go. So he could, who knows when he got there, how when he arrived. I saw some people posting about his Smurf playing games in SEA, so maybe he's been here for a couple of days, but this is his debut on this Fnatic roster, and to me it's a little bit interesting because I feel like Ohio was working quite well with the previous incarnation, but I mean, Universe he's got a bunch of qualifying points attached to his name at the moment, and maybe Fnatic, like you're saying, maybe they're not happy with just playing second fiddle in SEA. They feel like this is a step to move forward, so we'll see how it works out for them here.
Yeah, I mean, as an outsider, I don't know how much I could read into the situation.
5 seconds
but one thing for sure is that Ohio was performing, at least, you know, as a player, so we don't really know what's going on behind the scene. In terms of the playstyle of both of the offlaners, they play relatively the similar amount of offlane heroes. SA Universe has, let's say, Faceless Void, whereas Ohio plays, I think, Pit Lore a bit better, but I think mechanically both of these players are close enough, and they play relatively the same style. I think Ohio was a more farm-oriented player, and same for Universe. And as of late, MV has been playing more of a sacrificial carry role, allowing Abed as well as Universe, and to a certain extent DJ. More of the dangerous spots on the map, kind of farming in the suicide lane. And then this is more like 20 minutes in the game. He's always split pushing. And as a result, he does pick up a lot of deaths, but if that's what the team needs, that's what he gives to the team.
Yeah. And it's not that he's not getting farm, right? I think that's a key point to make, is that Envy is still finding a decent amount of farm on most of the heroes that he's playing. It's just where that farm is coming from. Is kind of the big distinction as to the Fnatic playstyle at the moment. But we see the Doom picked up. This has been quite a popular pick in this SEA qualifier over the last couple of days. I think it's been quite heavily banned as well. The Omni Knight is also comes to mind as something that's been really hotly contested in SEA. Fnatic, I don't know if they were probably watching that earlier series, but I think it also just makes good sense. They know TNC, they ban out that Shadow Fiend. Not going to give Cuckoo any opportunities here, and quite an early Phantom Lancer pickup. It's interesting, PL versus Tiny, because on the one hand you kind of think like, oh, Tiny has a cleave and he has some AoE, so surely he is okay against PL, but I think in practice Phantom Lancer actually turns out to be quite a good hero against Tiny. He gets kited around quite easily. You stick some illusions on him, and he doesn't really want to use tree grab charges to clear them out. He also attacks kind of slowly, and you throw a defusal charge on top of that, and Tiny can just kind of be done when it comes to a team fight. Because one of the big things we've seen from I think a lot of the really effective Tiny players in this qualifier has been their ability to go in, burst somebody down, and then reset, wait for their blink again, and then get another combo off, and PL is going to prevent you from ever making that happen. So I like this opening to the TNC draft.
Yeah, as quickly as Tiny could kill PL illusions, he could just make them again, via auto attack. So sometimes it's not that reliable. Do you think this is a 4-position Doom, or is this an off-lane Doom?
Well, I think if it's pause 4 Doom, then it's a hard 5 Rubik, which I'm really not a fan of. Okay. I think it's going to be, I would think it's going to be DJ on the Rubik.
Sure.
So I'm thinking that it's off-lane. In terms of how much he can get done in the off-lane, I guess that's the big question. They do still have another hero to grab here, and well, never mind. Maybe not. Legion Commander did get picked up.
This is also not completely out of the question that it could be a position 1 Doom. Envy used to play that.
That's true.
Yeah, actually back in the Cloud9 days where he played position 1 Doom, and I think it was Aoi that played position 4 for the team. They would just have Envy start in the jungle actually and give Aoi safe lane farm for 3 minutes.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Obviously not possible anymore given the fact that the jungle does spawn to 1 minute. But Envy safe lane Doom is at least a thing that has been done in the past.
Yeah. The Legion Commander pick, I'm not a hero that I'm a huge fan of, but it is definitely quite good against Phantom Lancer. And TNC, alright, another SEA staple. Gonna be picking up the Razor here, so not a whole lot of AoE teamfight on their side, right? Very single target focused, but that's kind of the draft so far, right? Neither team has gone into escalating things too much, at least in terms of the AoE teamfight situation. There are some long cooldowns on the field, but in terms of big AoE stuns, there's not really that much.
I feel that the Doom and LC also cover relatively the same basis. They're both very good against BKB heroes, but TNC just answers back by not picking any BKB heroes, or heroes that rather buy BKB pretty commonly. So I don't know if I like the LC and Doom on the same team. It makes the lanes really weird, like you mentioned as well. Gonna be interesting to see how things gonna shape up to be.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, maybe the Doom is the pause 4, and then we just see Doom plus Legion running at the off lane, but I don't know if they're necessarily gonna accomplish that much there. TNC still have the mix-up as to where the PL and Razor are going, right? They can choose to set their lanes Obviously they have to choose their items right at the start, so they can't really swap it, but can have the Razor mid or the Phantom Lancer mid, just depending on the matchup situation. And Earth Spirit is going to be the ban.
Yeah.
So Fnatic's read is that it's an offlane Nyx Assassin then?
Yes.
And TNC have the option to pick a position 4 for Tims?
Or a position 3.
Yeah, they could just put Tims on the Nyx.
Offlane Timber seems pretty insane right now if they could get away with it.
Oh, that's true. Fnatic have
3 melee strength hero.
3 melee strength hero lineup, yeah. Alright, now it's gonna be
Position 4 Naga,
Nagasai.
right? This is...
Yeah, I like this actually. The sleep is really good disengage against the Doom and the Legion Commander. You're gonna have to be a little bit careful with your positioning around the Tiny, but
10 seconds remaining.
I think it's quite good. The lockdown from the net is also really good with the Razor, right? So that's gonna help him quite a bit. And even just using the link with the song is also pretty potent. So I like this quite a bit. And for Fnatic, is that a Envy Monkey King?
This draft, I don't know, dude. This draft is looking so weird.
Okay. Yep.
Alright, Universe LC, so it has to be position 4 Doom and a position 5 Rubik. I mean, can you in theory put Pi on Doom? Yeah, that's exactly what they do. Position 5 Doom. I guess when Doom is being countered so hard, you could just put him as a position 5 and he could actually get farm because of Devour. That's an interesting way to go about it.
That's true. And then just try and get a couple of regular support items. I mean, he's not going to be doing any other Doom things, right? Like, he's not going to be surviving much in fights with Scorched Earth or doing damage that way. He's probably not going to be running in and getting Infernal Blades off that much. So it's mostly just, I guess, the ultimate, which is hopefully finding the PL this game, right? I think the other heroes are... Razor is super unimpressive to Doom. That's one of the cares if you get doomed at that point. You've already pressed all buttons that you need to in the fight. So I guess we'll see how this works out. But yeah, I am skeptical of the Fnatic draft.
I mean, as an aura for the team, that's
true.
Totally help. Any game that Jackie is in, we're gonna get a pause right in the beginning.
Just
I
because
believe I've lost 6 months of my life just sitting through these pauses.
Yeah. Can you comment on the level of how tactical the pauses are?
No, there's no tactical to it. It's just somebody is not ready.
Somebody needs to go to the bathroom, or the hands are cold. Okay. Who knows? But all right, so we got a DJ Rubik. In terms of how good of a Rubik game this is, I don't think it is a very good Rubik game, honestly. The best steal that I can see is Impale, and that's like not that impressive. A good Witch Doctor is always going to cover his Death Ward. He's going to toggle Voodoo Restoration. I mean, DJ might get it at some point, but he should only get it like the once. Naga, yeah, the song is helpful, but it's the same kind of situation, right, where Naga should never really let you have it. Though the AoE is quite a bit smaller now on the lower levels, so I don't know, maybe if Rubik gets a lens or something, he can still snag it. I don't actually know off the top of my head.
You gotta be relatively careful, because ending the song is same
counts
as
as a spell, right?
Yeah. So you gotta end the song and then immediately Riptide, which may or may not have good targets near you to Riptide. But yeah, we'll talk about the Rubik steals as we see them.
Yeah. Alright, so in terms of the lanes, they are going to have the Razor just heading down towards the safe lane at the moment. Raven rather, opting for the boots first. Fnatic, what's Universe got? I mean, the beginnings of a Soul Ring. Pretty standard offlane fare for him. Doom's got some boots. So DJ is actually playing the slightly more sacrificial role, at least as far as these first few minutes go. Buying up the the obs and the career.
Somebody take a
stuff.
screenshot. This is literally the first time that Pi ever started with boots first. As a support.
Somebody
I don't think I've ever
print it out.
Myself.
He can put it on the fridge.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, this is interesting from Sam H. Check this out.
This is the next level ward.
I haven't seen this one
30
before.
seconds
I mean,
to
it's
sees nothing.
It's an observer ward that sees nothing. Yeah, but they don't see it.
Blocks.
Yeah. Well, actually, maybe they realize that, yeah, they're pinging because they actually have their own ward over here, it looks like. Fnatic saw Sam H go into those trees with a ward, and they saw him come out with no ward, so,
What if he just dropped it on the ground?
inside the trees.
Inside a tree?
Yeah, maybe he's going back for it. Nah.
Yeah, pick it up, walk it back out.
Alright, so 2 bounty runes apiece, pretty standard stuff. Looks like Abed can be grabbing this one. You don't have to be facing a rune to pick it up, so it's the efficiency there of looking away. Cool guys don't look at bounty runes. Paladai is going to try and steal the wave with his boots. He's in a sneaky little spot at the moment.
Oh, and he even baits him away, Universe. It's like, come link me. And then now he pulls.
And yeah, now Paladai pops out of the trees.
It's actually pretty nice. He needs to run away from Razor though.
Yeah, don't get hit by the Razor. He's angry. He's big and angry.
Mid block looks like Abed's got the better block here.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Feels like this
attack.
is going to be a pretty rough matchup for Cuckoo, so Rich Doctor is going to come around and help him out a little bit.
Yeah. Fortunately, Witch Doctor, one of the better, like, laning / zoning supports, right? His base damage is quite good. The animation is quite good. So, decent amount of harassment. Speaking of harassment, Tim's just punching DJ. This is one of the things that people kind of dislike about Rubik as a support at the moment, is he doesn't really zone or harass all that well, right? Then Nagasan gets up in his face and there's not much that he can do. He's actually already skilled the Fade Bolt, and Witch Doctor's now up here. So 1437, gonna eye them off, and Envy having to sit a long way back. Still 0 CS to his name. I think the plan with this Monkey King pick was to put a lot of pressure on the Nyx, but no such luck when TNC actually managed to set their lanes up like this. So I guess Universe is gonna get a decent amount of farm at bottom, but Envy's gonna have to play the catch-up game.
Yep. I like what they're doing here on the bottom lane. Pi's pretty much only gonna sit here till level 2, and then he pieces out into the jungle to start finding some creep, allowing Universe to... I mean, it's not a decent 1v1, but lane is pull back enough that I think Universe should be able to get some farm. I just don't know how they're gonna kind of rescue this top lane. This top lane seems pretty impossible, even if the Doom comes in.
Yeah, I don't think the Doom necessarily changes much, right? They lift back into an Infernal Blade, but then there can be a Net or a Riptide or the Coconut bouncing. The counter initiation from TNC is actually quite good, so... Mid lane kind of seems like a win for Fnatic. Bottom lane probably gets more difficult for Universe once the Razor is actually left to his own devices. I mean, it's not like they've even been zoning out the Razor that badly with the 2v1. He's already got 5 CS. But this is probably not what he was hoping to be up against, right? He wanted to just use the boots, completely drive Universe out. But Pi doesn't really have anywhere else to go, like we've been saying. So I guess he's going to go take up residence in the jungle for a bit. And maybe a good creep can lead to something, like you've been saying. Alright, BJ gonna reconnect quickly, it looks like. Oh yeah? Like what? Like the AGDQ schedule? Is it? Oh yeah, I think the... Oh, alright. Looks like maybe a router restart coming in for Team Fnatic. See if that helps. Okay. When does the roster lock period?
I've lost track as well. That's definitely not one of the dates I keep attention to. Not relevant to me. Galaxy Battle.
Battles. Galaxy Battles 2.0.
The best tournament.
Yes, the best tournament.
and then Shanghai for Starladder.
Nice, nice, nice.
The also best tournament of February. The amount of Ds I've sucked to get these gigs. I don't get them for free, you know?
Yeah. So is that why you were reminded earlier when looking at Bane spamming his enfeeble on everybody? Of yeah. So the one thing that we haven't mentioned is that the last time that Universe and Envy played together was a ill-fated affair. I guess we'll
Team Secret.
Yeah, Team Secret.
Are we taking the over/under on whether they're gonna last longer this time or not? I mean,
I'm sure though they're gonna last at least this roster lock, right?
Yeah. So it's gonna be longer, right, than the Team Secret.
Yeah.
One. Team Secret one is like 2 months. I was actually having this discussion. Now that Fnatic has no Malaysians, does it still make sense for the rest of the team to stay in Malaysia? But I guess the infrastructure is already, like the team house, for example, is already in Malaysia. The support staff, I imagine, is Malaysian and whatnot. It's definitely one of the cheaper places to live, cost of living. The food's good and cheap. And it's moist and hot. That's a minus, by the way, not a plus. Oh man. That's a story to tell. That was also the best tournament. Yeah.
Street, I will keep you posted. That's two. Alright, what's going on here? Next assassin taking some damage. We are back. We are paused. Come on, Stream. You can do it. I believe in you. Well, at least not too much has happened just yet. If we do have to swap around. Raven taking some damage up high. He's got his level 2. Managed to go and find a centaur. Devour up, but Raven still doing just fine. Tiny pulling ahead a little bit on this mid lane, in fact. I'm interested to see what kind of builds Abed goes for here. Do you think he goes for the max tree grab just to try and win the lane that way, or do we see something similar to what we've been seeing against all the Queen of Pains, where you max out the toss and just use that for harassment?
Seems like maxing toss is the way to go. I think I could have seen it go either way. Oh, the courier. Like it, microing the illusion towards it. I'm more curious in terms of what role he's gonna play in the mid game. Is he gonna create space for Envy, or is it gonna be the other way around?
Alright, I don't know if my stream is recovering here. Alright, lift up onto the... Okay, yeah, I'll give you the word. Tim's in some trouble. Balance Strike gonna catch him. Jingu sticks up for Envy. Looks like they should be able to finish this. Pilot Eye with one last swipe of the sword is actually gonna finish the kill.
Highlight Die? Going boots first?
Highlight Die boots?
Getting first blood? What is happening here? Alright.
Alright, let's shut down OBS. Alright. Go.
They had to switch streams because internet is a problem.
Radiant's bottom tower
Happens to actual casting studios. It's not just. But yeah, I'll spare everybody that my internet is apparently shitting the bed today. But we have the Lumi back up.
How many years into the future would you think that we have like actual good internet everywhere for free? Well, not for free, but for like, you know, relatively for cheap, yeah.
Yeah, or it's just considered like, I don't know. That's
2040?
tough. 2040? Yeah, 2040 sounds about right. Well, we're gonna go on the next assassin here. Sam H in some trouble. They've also got the hoof stomp from Pylai Dai. He's making plays happen. He's got the phase boots. Eternal Envy's gonna snag the last hit since he is a little bit behind using the Boundless Strike for that one. But...
Man,
alright.
Look at this Doom. He has phase boots now.
Yeah.
I'm really loving how they're
Doom.
using this Doom, right? Just goes bottom, helps out the lane a little bit, gets the creep, walks around, and now is winning the top lane. And
it's working great.
Yeah. Now he gets to, I don't know, keep eating creeps in the jungle. Might need to Fairies himself a couple more clarity or maybe infuse raindrops. But he's done pretty much all you could ask for as a position 5. But mid lane,
Abed on mid. Yeah, they do have the paralyzing cast. They've also got the net coming through. He's gonna get the avalanche, maybe a toss back as well. Still pretty tanky. And now Pylai Dai arrives along with the Universe. They get some nukes out. They found the real Cuckoo. They're gonna throw DJ over on top of him. Cuckoo surging forward, trying to finish this kill, but DJ with one last little plink up the staff is gonna finish him off. So that was an attempted gank from TNC on mid. It does cost a rotation out of the Legion Commander to turn things around, so a bit of farm created for Raven down bottom, but they did not want to lose their Phantom Lancer there.
Yep. Quick rotation, all of a sudden 4 heroes shows up mid. But all of this kind of lane shuffling has really, to me, gone a lot better for Fnatic. Envy is now starting to get farm. I mean, Sam H got maybe 2-3 minutes of decent farm. But as Nyx, the early farm isn't necessarily that important. It's more so the fact that he was getting experience, and he was sharing a ton of that experience with the Witch Doctor, as well as the Naga.
Yeah, he's still doing alright in terms of overall level, but yeah, I mean, you look at the Razor, he's already level 6, so that is the amount of experience available in these solo lanes. Abed gonna cop some more harassment here on mid. Tim's running in just to try and be a little bit of a nuisance. Does need to be careful in case there's somebody to toss back to at the tower, so can't necessarily afford to be up in Abed grill all the time. But TNC seem to be, I mean, their supports aren't really playing together all that much. I think that's the biggest thing that's working so well for Fnatic in this early game, is that DJ and Pi are really linking up to make plays happen. I don't think either of them individually really has that much ganking power on these lanes, but together they can get a lot done. And Pi's actually zoning out this entire tri-lane all by himself. This Doom is looking pretty scary.
Yep, he is only limited by mana at this point. Every time he sends out clarity, he is getting it canceled, which is unfortunate. So, the bright spot for the team is Raven. He's got, you know, essentially the best lane, getting the best amount of farm. Do you think we're going to see anything greedy, or are we going to see more of the...
Envy might be in trouble here. Oh, whiffed stun from Sam H. That is not a good look. Ice Spiked Carapace, though, reflecting that Boundless Strike. It looks like he will get ticked down, but not before DJ gets off one last Fade Bolt. He gets netted up. Is there another stun? Not quite in time. He says see ya. And with that, Fnatic, just take a 1-for-1 trade. You were asking about Raven doing well for TNC?
Yeah, do you think we're going to see something different? Looks like he has a Soul Ring. Or rather, that's Universe that has a Soul Ring queued up. What do you think Raven's going to go for?
I definitely think he'll get a drum. After that, I think he probably... this is probably a game to just go for like the full tank up build, if I had to guess. So like, drum, Sny.
Sny?
I don't know if... Sny. S-N-Y.
Ooh, I like
Actually, he's rotating.
Yeah, Witch Doctor ports bottom, smokes Raven. Raven now ports up top. Witch Doctor now gets to put some like deep wards in the mid lane. This is a one smoke to do two things. I really like this.
Yeah, but the longer the bottom lane is empty, the more suspicious this becomes. So Fnatic, they have to go right now, and they do manage to find the net onto Envy, lift up onto the Nyx assassin, does get the stun out, however. Universe attempting a rotation, but I mean, all that he can do is run in. Does need to be careful about the Razor bonus damage. So they're going to hold on to this top tower. Both heroes rotating out of bottom as the supports now slink into the lane to try and grab a little bit of the farm that's been left behind. But the pressure's still on. Raven's still actually chasing up here at top. Sandwich trying to close the gap. Get the net out. DJ in some trouble. Looks like he might just get right-click down here. Universe with another big nuke, but that's all that the Legion Commander can really contribute at this stage. So TNC getting right back in it. Right? They struggled a little bit with the lanes, but they've done a really good job of leveraging the one lane that was going well to come and swing the top lane back. And
wow, that casket bounce range though. 1437, gonna try to run away. Hadouken, gonna miss, but Deku's gonna pick it up.
Right.
So far, Doom is representing 100% of Fnatic's on kills. And we'll see what he is gonna pick up. Who's actually grabbing the wards? Has it been DJ? Looks like it hasn't been the case. It's just Doom picking it up because DJ's got almost arcane.
He's almost got arcanes. Yeah, there's no way that he's the one that's buying the wards.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Oh, wraparound gank from Pi. He's got the Doom ready to go. Can they figure out which one is the real one? Cuckoo trying to hide in amongst the illusions. He does so successfully. They now realize what's happened, but Pi is a little bit too deep under the tower. Perhaps toss away, not going to help him. DJ's also here. Looks like maybe they will get this kill anyway. Nice doppelganger dodging the avalanche. Sam H comes in. One last auto attack finishes that kill. Got a Ring of Aquila on this Nyx assassin, interestingly enough.
Well, so the two players of TNC when they play PL, after they use the first doppelganger, they always hotkey the one with the same HP value as the hero, and they will always micro both the unit and the hero, and that's why they're often responsible for most of those like tricky things. There's one that deals the same damage but takes 200%. And then
one that deals zero damage, and
then takes the same amount of damage as Shihiro, and they micro that one.
What do you make of this skill build, by the way? Check it out.
For
Cuckoo, for Phantom Lancer.
Okay.
1 point in Lance.
Interesting.
Oh, we got action down bottom. They are going to go on the Monkey King. He's got a good boundless strike line. Is that going to be enough to save him? The Maledict is so annoying, never able to jump up onto the tree. Death Ward does come out to finish off that kill. Now Naga chasing for more. Does have the song. If this goes badly, Cuckoo dropping very, very low. And the double kill actually picked up. Abed tosses the Naga on top of the Phantom Lancer. Now Raven trying to run his way out of this one. Sam H also just around the corner, looking to help out. And are still chasing on Fnatic, but should be able to close the gap. Abed, big combo there.
Yeah, that build to me makes very little sense against Tiny, right? You don't want to run close to him because you get clubbed. I feel like he does more damage to you than you do.
I guess it is. You probably push lanes and farm a little bit faster, but I see what you mean. Doom gonna get stunned up. Sandwich is just waiting for him and try and get the clap out. Does as much damage as he can before he dies. Now they come running in, but Cuckoo immediately dropped down below half HP. Needs to be careful about joining these fights early on, especially against the AoE. He's just gonna stand still, jukes them out. Now looks over towards DJ. Cuckoo making the mind games happen. Universe gets tossed over towards the Phantom Lancer. He's got another doppel up soon. They're chasing after Abed now. He's slowed, he's linked, he's dead. Can they find Universe? Tim's gonna be looking for it. Pops the song, but the AoE is so small at level 1 now. Universe just runs it off. Oh, that's feels bad for sure.
I mean, I'm just stoked by these plays that our PL is showing us. It's one thing to understand the concept of it, the other one is to pull off, and then another level to identify it. And so far, you know, both of the Fnatic players have been tricked.
Yeah,
and these are, you know, world-class players getting tricked.
I think the best thing that he's done so far is that on mid, he ran with the illusions, but he sent the, the fake one ahead, and that time he stood still.
Yeah.
And so Fnatic just have no idea what's going on because they're looking for a pattern, and Cuckoo is just messing with their expectations at every turn. He's going Battle Fury on Phantom Lancer, dude.
What's happening right now? Have you seen this build before?
I've never seen this before, but I think TNC are looking at this game and have decided that they might just be able to win this by going late. Like, look at it. Tim's has a Radiance in his quick buy.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if they're wrong necessarily. I feel like Monkey King is a hero that does kind of fall off in the later stages. I mean, Legion Commander has the infinite scaling meme, but yeah, we'll see. And now Envy jumps down the strike, jumps up.
Oh man.
Oh no. They see him. They're just gonna plink him down. Oh, Envy tries to jump away. Almost made it. He's gone.
They might be correct. I mean, I feel like both teams is gonna have the ability to farm very well, because you know Envy's gonna go Battle Fury. Tiny has built-in Battle Fury, so this might just be TNC kind of reacting to the fact that, hey, Fnatic's got an extremely greedy lineup, and they just don't want to get left behind in terms of net worth. Like, for example, Pi as a position 5 hero is also going to get farmed.
I think the cool thing is that they're kind of, in a lot of ways, they're leveraging how good the Razor's start was to kind of drag everybody else along with him. Right? I feel like he's going to continue, and you look at his quick buy, nothing greedy in sight. He's gone for a drum, he's gone for a hood. Raven's very, very tanky. He may even be as effective as like he's probably as effective as like Universe and Envy combined at this point, and that's kind of creating some wake for the rest of the team to just farm up in, right? And it's not like the Naga necessarily needs a bunch of items to do her job early on, so I kind of like this one too. So you gotta jump in. They managed to find the real Cuckoo. Oh, didn't get the duel onto him, but they just burst down the swarm, and they will find him in the midst of it.
Yeah, that's probably gonna happen a lot of times, because it doesn't matter if you're kind of among your illusions. There's a lot of AoE spells for Fnatic to instantly kill the illusions or do a high amount of damage to it. But top lane, Raven, able to take down a tier 2 now. Fnatic really ahead in the early game, and this is very reminiscent of what we just watched in the previous series.
Ooh, they're looking for 1437. Abed's found him. He's gone. Alright. Tiny rotations working pretty nicely. Pilot gonna get caught out by SandMage. Raven finishes him off. DJ also running in here. Do they have enough damage to burst him? Looks like they do not. That build coming in big. Blink on Universe. He wants this kill onto SandMage. Avalanche coming through onto 2. Double kill for Abed. Raven's still fighting, but doesn't really have too much here to help him out. Doppelganger stolen by DJ, keeping himself alive. I thought he was dead, but he's actually A-okay.
Alright. That was pretty easy. That's a good one to have, actually. I wonder if DJ's now got some Rubik Illusion hotkey. Maybe I'll lose it if he actually will start making those kind of juice.
If he does the same thing, yeah. Oh man. All right, PL's almost got his Battle Fury. I'm actually interested to see how the Battle Fury PL scales. Right, you're sacrificing your early power spike to maybe smooth out your, or like speed up your mid to late game progression, right? So,
I mean, when you say early game power spike, you just mean the Diffusal Blade, right?
Yeah, just the Diffusal Blade, yeah, that's all I mean.
Yeah.
Max Lance, Diffusal Blade, run around, kill some supports.
The thing is, I feel like about the Max Lance Diffusal Blade is that, yeah, you get it, you're very strong, and then you kind of taper off very quickly. And it takes you like 25 minutes to get to the, you know, the ultra late game carry. So this might just be foregoing the early game and then just kind of ramp up much faster to your late game, which, you know, knowing Fnatic's playstyle, they generally take their games to what, 50-60 minutes, so maybe going straight up for the late game is just the way to go.
Yeah, they are pretty adept at like cutting lanes and stretching out games once they had even a little bit of a foothold, so I can kind of see the approach from TNC. Do you think this is a good, is it a good core Naga game? Because that's basically what's happening now with Tim's, right? He's decided that DJ running straight into some trouble. He is going to pop the Doppelganger away. No juking on this one, unfortunately, since the Link is still after him. And Raven will just bring him down.
So let's see if, I mean, Fnatic's got a ton of heroes that could deal with the illusions of Naga. So on that front, no, but just having a position for getting Radiance can't be bad, right?
Yeah, definitely not this game, especially when Fnatic are so right-click heavy. Like, a lot of their damage, all of their cores have a little bit of nuke, right? But then after that, it's mostly down to right-clicks. So, yeah, I don't mind. Nyx Assassin going... Like, Nyx Assassin has definitely transitioned to the position 3 this game, right? No Midas on Sam H, nothing like that. He's just looking towards a Spirit Vessel. There is not enough farm on the map for 4 cores, right? So... someone is going to have to make some room for this Naga, and they are going to find out Universe down here. Sandwich with a nice stun, not being greedy with the Vendetta hit. They are going to keep spotting him over into the trees. Pop the Blade Mail, it's not going to matter. Realizing Cast chases after, and then it's going to be a mega kill streak for Raven. He is still having a hell of a game.
Yeah, just showing us that you could have hood and drums, but you could still have a ton of impact. Kind of running into the Fnatic lineup, being way too tanky.
They just don't have the tools to really kill him. Highlight just kind of farming, pushing out lanes a little bit. Has just grabbed a drum. Envy has his Battle Fury. Going to be going for an Echo Saber next. This just seems to be his build for the most part. Always goes the Battle Fury into Echo Saber. I don't actually know if I've ever seen him, or at least in recent memories, seen him go anything else. He also seems to, I think he likes the, they're gonna jump in here, they're looking for Cuckoo. Can they kill him off? Boundless Strike, keeping him locked down. He's already used the doppel, in fact, and just gets right-clicked to death. Abed with the double damage. Big stony fists.
I like how this time they don't chase that illusion that was running south. Top lane looks like Doom was going for the kill here, and Deny coming through. Very nicely done by Raven. And then, of course, he helps his team pick up the kill. Meanwhile, simultaneously on the bottom side, Universe gets a dual victory. That's the second one of the game. And looks like he's going to go for Shadow Blade. And then top.
Sam H, in trouble. They're going to throw out the Wukong's command. Envy chasing forward. A little bit of a awkward ulti. Now going to be forced to hop on out of it. Raven going to spot him. Throws out the Plasma Field. Wait, what made Tim's deniable there?
Doom.
Oh, he was doomed. Alright, yep. Duh. Alright, well, a couple of kills traded across the map. Nice that they bring down the Phantom Lancer. His net worth is scaling up pretty quickly. Just going to be going for an SNY next. I wonder if this is like just a... Is this a completely different PL build? Like, the illusions are not that valuable this game, sure. So maybe you just play less for your illusions and more for your main hero to just be tanky and right click.
Sure.
Right? Like, maybe you put yourself in a situation where even if you are doomed, you can still just kind of stand there and hit people a little bit.
And on that note, like, the PL does actually have pretty insane... across the board, he gains a lot of stats. So, if you're not playing for illusion, your actual hero is still quite decent.
And it's going to be quite a high level. I mean, he's already level 17, 22 minutes into the game. The pace hasn't been that fast. Fnatic looking for some kind of initiation here. They don't have the Wukong's command. Envy's scouting ahead. Sam H is also here. Raven going to be coming around the corner. They are trying to burst the Phantom Lancer. They get it, but now they come in with Sam H with the stun. Catches on the 3. They have managed to duel up the Razor. Can they finish him off? Yes, they can. Universe looks like he should tick out to the Maledict, but Fnatic are not done. They charge forward. Abed picks up a double. Oh man, they just exploded the Phantom Lancer. He didn't get an opportunity to cast a single spell that fight. I really want the fight recap, actually.
And I feel like the most important player that needed to be there was not. Like, Tim's is their get out of jail free card. But he's busy farming his Radiance, which he's got the Relic already. My god, Jesus.
Yeah.
But Fnatic wins a pretty decent 5v4. And I think in these team fights, it's showing that Fnatic just have way more AoE. They could quite easily tell which one is the real PL. That's the second, or was it the third time that both Abed as well as Universe just combine their AoE spell and just nuke the bejesus out of Cuckoo. And then they just get the quick kill.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is the third time now where they've just annihilated them. I guess the other really nice thing is that they have the Avalanche and the Boundless Strike are both quite good at not only clearing the illusions, but then stunning the real PL while you figure out quickly which one it is. So it gives you the opportunity to follow up with a lift or to Infernal Blade him or something on those lines. And Fnatic able to play around their vision a little bit more. They had these really deep wards at bottom for a bit, but weren't really able to use them. But after taking that fight, they reset the lane position a bit and continue kind of playing around here. Rubik's got what I think is still the best steal of this game. He's got the Impale. Dust gets popped. They've actually scattered that damage. They knew that he was coming. I don't know if they needed to use the Doom there, but still a very nice pickup. Oh. 137. High's pretty fast. Not pop the drum. Raven still has a jump charge as well. He just dead to the Maledict?
Yes,
yeah, he's super dead to the Maledict. 4 points in that from 137.
I'm surprised he didn't activate drums. I thought he could have ran out if he did.
Scouting around is the Monkey King. Sees 1437. Can he actually get this solo kill? He's got the Echo Saber doing good damage. Universe tries for the kill secure, but not get it. Cuckoo with his NY actually able to keep on Phantom rushing towards the Monkey King, and he cuts him down with his Battle Fury. He's stunned forever. Turtle Envy, what can he really do? He's actually doing a decent amount of damage. Healing up with the Jingu. This could be a turnaround. Universe gonna come in with the Blade Mail popped. Doing his best, but look, it might just be dual damage fed away to the Phantom Lancer. That's a plus 14 for Cuckoo. Oh no, wow. that Phantom Rush.
Yeah, is this why you max Phantom Rush? I mean, at this point,
and build a Battle Fury?
I mean, dude, it looked pretty good there. You see the PL, you click on him, and of course it's, what 900 Phantom Rush range? Yep, and then he just follows to where the PL is, even when he's on a tree, and then you cut him down. That was a sick.
TNC. That was so good. Yeah.
Now they go
TNC into the pit. I guess Fnatic didn't have to necessarily fight there, right? Universe didn't need to lose his life, but with those two cores dead, TNC just head straight into Roshan. Aegis to be claimed. I guess just give it over to Cuckoo. Nice. Got that secured. He's got another 2.2k gold on top of that. It's still pretty close in terms of overall farm, but TNC just seemed like they're scaling so quickly, and Naga's just about to get a Radiance on the courier, so Tim's is about to really just watch.
It's also not the pressure that he's going to put on Fnatic by farming. Yeah. He's gonna basically sit at this area of the map and just stream illusions into the jungle and into top lane, and that's pretty much gonna force one Fnatic hero constantly stay on the top lane.
Yeah, it's just he's stealing their farm really as well, right? He's gonna be moving them into the Dire jungle. The Fnatic will probably only really have access to their tri-camp area. So yeah, here we go. Radiant Illusions out and about. They are still dealing with them reasonably well for now. Universe going to be aiming for some more pickoff with the Shadow Blade. TNC, Aegis in hand, quite comfortably sieging this bottom tier 2 with no real threat whatsoever from Fnatic elsewhere. I mean, Eternal Envy is kind of pressuring top, but TNC, is this actually just time to go high ground? They get the Glyph forced out. They might just want the tier 3. They're going to send... And now they're quite happy to just go scatter and get these lanes all back into position.
They take more farm.
Yeah, I like that move. It's not a... It's like not a huge economic victory, but knowing that they forced Fnatic back gives them intel and opens up room for farm. We're gonna get scattered out here though. Not the best target necessarily. Gets the doppel down onto the low ground. They did not get the avalanche off immediately, it looks like, and Cuckoo actually just gonna stay on top of them here, calling his buddies to back him up.
Yep. I mean, he had Aegis anyways, and I think by the time that he died, he would have allowed his teammates to come nearby to back him up.
Yeah. The IDC Doom build continues. He's going Scotty next. IDC Doom, IDC Duel. I mean, survivability is going to be a pretty big deal. Fnatic just kind of trapped inside of their base. Naga Illusion's going to work, creating space. TNC aren't really farming their side of the map, but they don't really have to be if they're just starving out Fnatic.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they are farming a side of the map and Fnatic isn't, then they're okay with that exchange.
Yep. And Cuckoo also just cutting some more waves. TNC, how much longer do they have on this Aegis? So another 2 minutes or so, right? Minute 45.
Yep.
The Razor's just going for Lincoln's actually quite close on Raven. It's going to be a nice pickup for him.
And this Lincoln isn't even necessary for himself. Like, he'll probably plop it on one of his allies if they're taking more of a frontal position.
Yeah, like we said, as a hero, he doesn't really mind being doomed, so long as he gets his spells off. Ooh, Sam H. Looking for Envy, who is hopping around. Being vision, but I think they did smoke up inside of their base under cover of the sentry wards. Oh, Abed gets revealed. Okay. Oh, Fnatic find nothing with that smoke, it looks like. They do have a blink up on Pi. That's nice. But TNC doing such a good job of just avoiding them. I suppose, but TNC still getting further and further ahead. This is actually the first time, I mean, if you look at the graph, this is the first time where things have really started skyrocketing in TNC's favor, but they're just putting on so much pressure. Like, I feel like Universe's farm at this point is completely stalling out because there's nothing left on the map, really, for him.
Generally, this is how LC's farm kind of goes at this stage of the game. Unless you're getting a bunch of kills, which she isn't.
And oh my god, Cuckoo, I was wondering about this. So he didn't go for the heart, which is, you know, pretty standard on Phantom Lancer, and I kind of figured, okay, well, the Scotty is good survivability, and it's you know, at least gives you a little bit more damage where the heart doesn't really give you any. But he's still got the heart queued up as well. This is really just full like battle PL.
Tanky illusions.
Yeah, well, it's like I think he doesn't even care if they know which one the real one is. Once he gets that heart, he's just gonna have so much health. But also, once the illusions get tanky enough, TNC, all right, giving Envy a little bit of a taste of his own medicine in some respects, just chipping away with PL illusions, Naga illusions. Cuckoo's not chipping now, he just charges up. And I don't know if Fnatic initiation paved the way for the rest of the team, but that's where the song comes in, right?
Yep, we haven't even really seen song counterplay like a duel or a doom, so.
Alright, well, top 2-2 does get taken out by not 100% doing his job in terms of resetting the waves. Now that they know that he's elsewhere on the map, Universe senses an opportunity. He smells blood in the water, wants to go out there and get a duel, but TNC very nicely played. They stay as 4 to group back up with them. So the window of opportunity for Fnatic was closed very, very quickly. Oh, they have managed to get the lift back onto the Phantom Lancer over at mid, can get the duel off. No, they can't, and now Cuckoo just running for dear life, trying to get back to his team, but he's actually going to get dueled up. Now the song coming in. There's 3 standing on top of each other. Sam H looking for this opportunity with the stun, but a nice Doom coming in out of Highlight Die, at least going to prevent that stun from coming out. Eternal Envy up to the high ground, but he actually gets his ult. With the paralyzing cast, the Wukong's command does absolutely nothing. Abed running away on the left-hand side of this fight. He's going to get left for death. Universe just blinking himself out of there. And DJ looks like also dead. He has the doppelganger once again, trying for the illusion juke. You wanted to see it, Lumi, but there's just too much damage coming out of TNC. And with that, they take a 4-for-0 fight and head straight up onto the high ground.
Man, TNC has shown us some really weird strategy, but I don't know if Fnatic was really able to execute theirs. TNC now rolls them over. Actually, setting up a second lane here.
What was the Fnatic strategy, though, in your mind? It seems like they've kind of picked for lanes, they picked some heroes that they think are strong, but I don't necessarily see a ton of synergy in the lineup. I mean, maybe I'm just flaming because, you know, whatever they were planning didn't pan out, but...
No, me neither. I don't really see, like, the synergy of stuff either, but they're just playing well. Pi's gonna get picked up after a spike here. Bis double buyback. Oh, but I think it's gonna damage Universe first off dying here.
Yeah, and out. Flipping out a bit. DJ's just dying to the illusions. Cuckoo's killing everybody. Raven's running forward without a care in the world. He's not even auto-attacking. He's just letting the Eye of the Storm do the work. And there you go. Fnatic gonna call the GG.
Oh, definitely not a very good showing here for Fnatic.
Definitely not.
Yep.
They just kind of... I mean, Pi had a sick early game.
He did.
The supports playing together worked out really well, but then they just couldn't quite transition it from there. I want to say that the TNC... Like, the core rotations from TNC...
Dire team ban.
Turn to ban.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds
Radiant
remaining.
team ban.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Witch Doctor.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds. Dire team pick.
Dragon Knight.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Point. So that's certainly helpful. I wonder what kind of build we'll be seeing out of the Dragon Knight. I'd like to see... I like Maelstrom a lot on Dragon Knight anyway, and I think against the Phantom Lancer it probably incentivizes it even more. I guess it also comes down to whether or not Abed feels like he needs to be in part the initiator as well, if he needs to get a Blink or a Shadow Blade, which would change the overall item progression somewhat. But I guess we'll have to see where TNC go from here.
Yeah, he might actually end up getting both. Blink, Shadow Blade, we see a lot of DK kind of get both, and his talents are actually pretty good at kind of carrying him through the mid and late game.
Yeah, so long as you get your levels, you get kind of a lot of effective gold from the talents.
Yep.
TNC really taking their time on this one. I guess maybe the discussion is once again about the Nyx Assassin's position, whether or not they're going to be running him or what, or maybe they have some particular pick that they want to try out against this Dragon Knight. Alright, no, it's just the 3-4 conversation happening, so it looks like it is going to be Sam H on the Nyx Assassin, Tim's going to be on his Earth Spirit, and then we just have one more core to be grabbed. What heroes do you like against DK?
10
Is
seconds
it like
remaining.
Timber and Zeus and that kind of stuff? The things that can burst him? Or what else do you think makes Dragon Knight squirm?
I think you want a hero that doesn't get pushed out the lane too much, because I feel like Dragon Knight really gets his mileage as like the 5th or 6th minute rolls by. He gets you low and he starts punishing your tower. But if you have a hero that can sustain pretty hard and just sits in lane trade farm but does scale better than DK, then it's the hero you want.
Is this a Deuce ban for Fnatic? I can see it. I think Deuce is probably decent against DK in lane because you just sit there and you never leave your tower and you burn his mana.
I like
that's annoying.
OD a lot here for TNC.
5 seconds
oh yeah.
remaining.
So, because OD does amazingly against both Dragon Knight and Terrorblade, and you have ways to actually back up your players if you're like shackled or stunned by the ET.
Radiant team
So,
pick.
they're gonna take out the Jaro instead.
All right. What are we going to be seeing for Universe then is the question. think Brewmaster is in it. It's not really a good Brewmaster game, huh?
Brewmaster could help you find where the real PL is with the Storm Dispel, so that's a plus. The Universe Void is always like on top of my list in terms of a go-to hero, but Earth Spirit can be a decent answer. I mean, there's also that Pit Lord that they always put on Ohio. I don't know how they feel about playing it here.
What about something like a Magnus? They got 2 heroes to benefit from the... It's weird, they got 2 heroes to benefit from the Empower in terms of farming, but not really in terms of team fights. So... I think
so, a lot of damage, especially for the Terrorblade.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, and it's some more lockdown. It can sometimes be a little bit tough to play against the Earth Spirit. I mean, Earth Spirit is an anti-initiator in general, right? It's almost whatever they pick, it's going to be tough. Okay, it is the Brew. The only reason that I brought up the Brewmaster is because they banned the Gyrocopter. And I think Gyro is one of the heroes that deals with Brewmaster the best in lane. So, also, if you're worried about that OD pick, then maybe this is going to be helpful. Yeah, there you go.
Got him.
Got him. Not just a pretty face, Lumi.
Yeah. So the problem to me for this Brewmaster pick is that we've seen this, I think, in game 2 of the series that we casted between TNC and GeekFam, was that if you don't have a secondary initiator to keep them kind of locked down, then Brewmaster blinks in, claps, splits, and then everybody else just like disengage. So I think they're relying on Abed to actually get a Blink Dagger to kind of combo up and initiate. And Pilot Die is relying on everyone else to actually help him initiate, because he is not going to be able to land his clap against some of the more elusive heroes like PL, OD, Earth Spirit. I think this is a really tough one here for Fnatic. But as we've seen, TNC is a team that, to me, struggles against Terrorblade. And we are watching one of the players in the world here.
Yeah. This is I mean, it is potentially going to be one of these situations where Envy is really the hard farmer for the team, so not 100% what the template has been for them recently, but yeah, like you're saying, in terms of the OD is decent against it, but in terms of the other lockdown for TNC, it's nothing too crazy. He is definitely going to have to get a Manta against the Earth Spirit Silence, which is pretty annoying if you get Silence at a clutch moment right before you need the Sunder. So that's definitely something to watch out for. But we've seen Terrorblades today farm extremely well. I think that's been the biggest thing from all the games that we cast. The TB just seems to, even in the face of some counters and heroes that can pick him off, just soaks up all the space on the map so well. And I mean, even like the Manta Scotty timings in the previous series were all really good. It was like early 20 minutes for those 2 items.
Yeah, and it's not even necessarily important that he has a good laning start, right? I think the TPs that we saw earlier today honestly lost in the lane, but he just goes in the jungle for a while, shows up, use the meta to farm like a pretty big stack, shows up to take a tower or 2, and just kind of catch back up. The one thing that is a indication of a very good Terrorblade team is that he'll kind of make an early rotation or gank into a different lane, or either that or his teammates will come to him. You get a kill in that lane and you pop your meta for a tower. You generally want to be playing like that for at least the outer towers, and that really not only shoots your own farm ahead, getting you to like the key Yasha, also shoot your supports ahead to get to their key items.
Yeah, that is the one weakness that I will say about the TNC lineup, now that you're talking about pushing buildings, is that TNC are so bad at pushing, at actually threatening buildings and taking them. And I'm just trying to think about it in terms of breaking high ground against like even just against the ET, right? The non-stop stomp spam is going to be really annoying. Maybe PL, if he's big enough, he'll be able to chip and play safe and then doppel away. But we've seen DJ with his Aether Lens and his cast range talent actually be insanely punishing against people trying to chip away at the high ground. So I worry about that a little bit for TNC, because for Fnatic, it's taking the early buildings, like you're saying, is super easy. I actually really like the Brewmaster playing with the TB or the DK, kind of for that reason, right? They can either rock up to the Brew's lane, or the Brew can quite easily go to either of those two lanes once he has level 6. And if they just get a decent primal split off, they should be able to get a kill into a tower. So I think the early stages of the game are easier for Fnatic overall with their roster, right? They've got somewhat guaranteed tier 1 tower taking, stable laning, and important for them because they're down a game, and this is a elimination match for the Bucharest Major SEA qualifier, so they can't afford to lose this one.
Normally, I would be a little bit worried about the lack of sieging potential from TNC as well. But do you remember that game where it was just a lifestealer walking up and rage sieging for TNC? The thing in that game that did it for me about TNC isn't necessarily their ability to push high ground, but what happens when they're not pushing high ground. Like when they're not pushing high ground, they do such an excellent job to prevent the enemy team from farming. And that's kind of what we saw last game as well, right? Like Fnatic, it took them a long time to lose the game, but they never also had a chance to get back in the game because the map was always like very smartly taken up by TNC. And I think that's kind of the style that they're going to go for. A very map shutdown style. And give Fnatic a really tough time, kind of zone them in their base.
Highlight Eye once again, getting some... look at this build from the Elder Titan, actually. Oh no,
Universe.
They've managed to catch out Universe. He's going to try for the TP out. He just barely survives. Nicely done, though. Oh, looks like Pi might actually be able to continue stealing the wave. No, 147 gets in front of him. He still has the cask. They've got Rolling Boulder in 2 seconds. Pi is quite tanky. Tries to sidestep the boulder, and he actually succeeds just coming out of the stun in time. Turns the corner, still holding on to this creep wave for now. And he will be able to drag it back in between the tier 1 and tier 2. No, won't be able to aggro that one over, but... His aim is actually elves. Fnatic once again putting a lot of emphasis on Highlight Eye helping to win the lanes.
They gotta be careful. Now Pi has a ton of attack speed, but the creep wave's been helping out. In fact, they're gonna roll on him. Pi is gonna just go down here. Oh wow. They just tanked that creep wave for like a good 20 seconds.
Yeah. Is this just the counter to the offlane pull? You just send your 2 supports to slay them? Like, yeah, it'd be kind of working moment.
It also,
Pi, even with the stat shield, not surviving.
It also helps that they're pretty like ballsy in terms of tanking up so much creep damage. But look at 1437. He's just...
Well, he's getting walloped now, but Paladin Cast comes out. The roll not going to miss. It's at point-blank range. Draven's back behind the tower as well. Pi, alright, makes it back to the safety of his tier 2. They're playing in a pretty narrow area here. Yeah. Between getting tapped by either of the towers. And a tier 2 tower at less than 2 minutes into the game hurts real bad, so definitely worth being careful of. 157 Clarity's going to get cancelled. Highlight Die just being a nuisance. Though his overall objective up here just seems to be getting Universe off to a good start. And I think that's fair because the TNC tri-lane actually has a ton of kill potential, right? That's one of the really nice things about Wichita. Highlight Eye wanted that bounty rune maybe, or coming a little bit too far forward. Tim's not gonna kick a rock, just kicking Pi sideways, not kicking him into the camp, unfortunately, just a little bit off on the angle. And this could end up saving him. I wonder if he actually needed to kick Pi, or if he could have just dropped the boulder. Yeah.
I think he thought that the PL couldn't get close enough for the lance. But the PL did anyways, so maybe if he just kicked and stun and then with the lance that's there, they get the kill. But like you mentioned, they really dedicated a lot to this kind of early game pulling Stout Shield and 2 salves, and they've gone through the 2 salves, and Tangos are running out too. And is this worth it for Universe? I mean, do you think he's gotten enough to justify the investment?
I guess the question is, what else would have Pi accomplished if he'd been elsewhere?
Well, no.
I don't know if he can actually...
Like, for example, he doesn't need to start Stout and 2 salves, right? Like, that's close to 500 gold that, for example, DJ could have had for a quick boot. So I'm just wondering if that was worth the early investment. And I'm sure Universe is benefiting from it, but I'm just not sure if it's enough.
Yeah, I'm not sure that he's gotten significantly more than he would have if Pi had been elsewhere, right? Like, he probably... What happens is he grabs the wave there, he gets gone on, he TPs all the way back, he maybe misses a little bit. But yeah, I don't think this... The one thing that I think has happened up here as well is that maybe Fnatic have underestimated the amount of damage that the Earth Spirit and the Witch Doctor can do. On the one hand, the way that I was thinking about it is that they're kind of respecting the kill potential, and they're using Pi as like a meat shield for Universe, but like is 5, or let's say he gets all 3 of these CS, like is 8 CS that much of a difference from 0? I guess they just really feel like they need the Brewmaster 6 quickly, right? That's probably the most impactful thing in this game.
I think the other thing is by doing what they did, they really kind of manipulated the equilibrium to land where it is right now. I mean, maybe those couple creep kills wasn't enough, but the creep kills that he's gonna get here definitely will help Universe.
There's another big wave coming in with the double range creep, so I think Pi can call it probably a job well done.
Yeah,
and also the one thing that they have accomplished is keeping Tims and 1437 up here, because I feel like the DK is actually quite susceptible to ganks on the mid lane this game. Right? He gets imprisoned, the Witch Doctor and the Earth Spirit just walk up. It's a very easy kill from there. It doesn't really matter how tanky Dragon Knight is. They've got enough damage, especially when they've got the Maledict. Which is one of the very nice things about the Witch Doctor this game. He's really good at killing these tankier heroes like the Dragon Knight and the Brewmaster.
Bottom lane here, Sam H. Going up against Envy. Nothing much the Nyx could do. I mean, even if he doesn't die here, I'm not sure overall how much farm he's gonna find.
Ooh, Pilot I was trying to scout this smoke rotation, but unfortunately he leaves just a little bit too soon. And 1437 and Tims, like I was saying, very easy imprisonment into a couple of auto attacks. Cuckoo getting somewhat lucky on the procs, will finish him off with that last orb. And that, I think, is what Fnatic were worried about. Nice smoke. EJ, meanwhile, just running some pulls down. Not a whole lot that you can do as a Shadow Shaman before you pick up your boots. You know, you can kind of go and zap the offlaner a little bit, but DJ definitely needing to get access to those pulls, get the boots. Now he can actually go make plays. Tims is down here for a little vacation, but I don't know if they can really put that much pressure on. I mean, Sam H doesn't have any mana to really speak of, so I think Tims is just down here to soak another level, and then maybe Cuckoo not opting for the like full imprisonment build, I suppose. I'm actually interested to see what build he goes for. If he does just leave it at one point. Number of people like just max the Essence Aura and then go back for max Arcane Orb and kind of say screw it to the Astral.
Take up your Astro a little bit more early on, because I do feel like regardless of farming or not, it's a very good defensive spell, and you definitely want to have it at a max cast range.
Yeah, I mean, the level 1 cast range is so bad. It's unbelievably bad. Courier in a little bit of trouble here. Universe doesn't have the guaranteed crit. Alright. I don't even know if it would have been a kill if you had it, but Witch Doctor just gonna grab some boots. Courier, where is it off to now? Actually, it looks like 1437 is gonna deliver the wards to Tims. Makes sense. He's the one moving around. It's much easier for the position 4, and especially a mobile position 4 like the Earth Spirit, to go and plant the wards, as opposed to the Witch Doctor, who looks like he's just gonna be hunkering down behind his Phantom Lancer up top. Alright, Tim's coming back up. Still saving that 3rd point. Does opt to put it in the Boulder Smash now. Pi getting a little D-ward over here. Using the Spirit for some vision. 1437 looking towards him. Maledict thrown out. Does have the cask, but alright, looking like he's not feeling confident about going in here. Pi's relatively tanky, and once they roll in on him, he can just force the Boulder Smash with the Echo Stomp, or not easy.
They are just walking around as a team and denying a lot of the runes away from Fnatic. I think TNC just grabbed all 4 runes. The 6th minute. Very nice.
Alright, Cuckoo is opting for the kind of the orb build, at least so far. 2 points up in the Arcane Orb now. He's getting a little bit lucky on these procs. I think you need like 1400 or 1600 mana to sustain Orb with max Essence. So the fact that his mana pool isn't completely destroyed yet is a tiny bit lucky, but not a huge deal. Abed just getting completely boomed by this. He's gonna try and pop the Dragon Form just to get a little bit of range and maybe lay in some harassment. I don't think it should be too much of a problem for Cuckoo, but it's at least easier to play the lane this way. Whoop, they want Pi. Is the cast gonna bounce? It will not. Tim's somewhat hesitant about rolling all the way into the tower. So for now, we will just continue farming. Fnatic are actually finding great farm on all three of their cores. They are definitely winning the lanes in terms of the CS battle, but despite that, they're behind on the actual net worth. So
I mean, such a small difference. I wouldn't read too much into it.
yeah, that's like that one round of bounty runes plus a little bit.
Sure.
We got Dragon Knight just going for a drum. No treads just yet. DJ still wandering the map. Actually spots Sam H here trying to steal away the wave, but they're not really going to be able to stop him, and Tim's is also down here to act as an escort, so they're fine. How is the Brewmaster going towards his level 6? They're going to give him this bounty. That's going to get him a little bit closer. Not opting for the bottle this game is actually just going to be grabbing up a Soul Ring and some Tranquil Boots instead. I was looking at some of S4's games recently with the Brewmaster, and he seems to just go bottle every single time. Though a lot of the time, I feel like when they're giving S4 Brewmaster, it's to do with the fact that he can kind of really heavily pressure the opposing carry and kind of take over the lane, secure the bounty runes for himself. So I guess this is a slightly more pressured situation for Universe, or just personal preference. I don't think this is a bad build at all.
I think OG as a team also gives S4 much more, like, they prioritize him getting a favorable matchup, which I think very give you that matchup at the cost of the other ones.
Yeah, but Envy getting rolled on here by Tim's.
Milo.
Tim's just trying to scare him. Up mid action, they got the Shackle onto the OD, they got the X, they got the Ether Shock. He is gone. Rotation from Universe, and Abed still has, so we'll just pop the Dragon Form. So it looks like they should be able to get this tier 1 tower as well. There's actually no glyph available.
Yeah.
And nobody on TNC reacting at all. They're just going to let this one go, it looks like.
This is kind of
very
dream
nice
for the Dragon Knight. Abed has been, I don't know, conditioning, if that's the right word. Conditioning Cuckoo to walk in and Astro him, and then this time he popped his ult and give him the good old stun with, you know, his teammates rushing in on the back.
And they're just going to keep on going. I mean, we've been talking about the ability to take a fight in a lane and immediately take the tier 1 in the context of the TB and the Dragon Knight, but the same is also true for the Shadow Shaman, right? And I feel like Fnatic as a team actually plays so well around the Mass Serpent Wards. They're willing to use tons of smokes in the early game, go and find picks, because they know that if they connect with even one kill, they can immediately follow it up. Sam H is using his first Vendetta and now following around Envy inside of the jungle. 1437 also running over here. There's the Maledict. They've also got the Cask. Is this enough damage? He's going to try and run over towards the Shrine, and looks like Envy might actually make it. TP also coming in from the Brewmaster. This could be really ugly. Universe does have his ultimate available. He's looking forward towards Tim's. Tim's might just kick him away if he gets too close. So, alright. Not the kill that they were hoping for. A TP forced. But TNC looks like maybe they can still make this into a tower for tower trade. We got the Siege Creep going to work on the bottom tier 1.
I'm not sure if Fnatic should stick around here looking to defend. They are going to port in for this one. DJ in here, but no really good way to lock him down and make him pay.
Do you think Universe should be running around like this at the moment, the way that he's doing, or would you like to see him sit back and maybe just finish farming this Blink? Alright, well, that tier 1 injection of money is going to help, certainly. Raven from the big camp needs to be careful. There's reflection, gets clapped out, doesn't have the doppel for a couple of seconds. Can he juke this out? He's actually got so many illusions. The primal split gets popped. Charging in, who are they looking for? They do focus onto the Witch Doctor. 1437 getting zapped down. The Nyx Assassin's up in the air. He does have a spiked Carapace, able to get into the Vendetta. So he's going to be okay. DJ's a little low. Nuke going to connect over onto Envy. Sam H, he's going to go for this kill. Gets the stun out. Nice Hex reaction from BJ, but not going to be enough. Sunder comes through. Envy also just getting muscled down. Sam H still needs a little while for his next stun. Envy's quite fast. Just gonna juke his way into the trees. He's got his Culling Blade ready to go. On the other side, Universe out of the split is getting focused on by 1437, and they can't quite seem to find Envy. Sam H had the stun off cooldown, but Envy was just a straight up TP out. Universe grabs a bounty and not afraid of 1437 at all. Just continues running over.
Well, Raven going back for the battle fairy build again.
Yeah.
I wonder it was game specific to the heroes he was facing last game, but it just seems like it's just a good way to
maybe this is just his thing.
Yeah, accelerate his farm.
Yeah.
Or not his thing, but Cuckoo played it last game, so it just must be something that they agreed on.
Yeah.
Top lane.
Top tower is under attack.
Jabez is going to be able to close the gap. However, Universe clap in another couple of seconds. They throws out the zap, and that is a 4-man gank, but easily finds the OD, and I think well worth it. These deaths are slowing down the OD's farm quite a bit. He's almost got his 4 staff, which is certainly going to help out, but still, he did actually go back to max out the imprisonment. Alright, so that's how he's been farming. He's just kind of been taking up the dire jungle, spamming Astral. Fnatic keen to use some Mass Serpent Wards. They do have a Sentry Ward down. They know if the Nyx Assassin makes his approach, Tim's going to go rolling straight in. They put the Serpent Wards down. DJ never shy of using these. They do get the Magnetize out, but the sleep onto the OD. Abed going to go chasing forward. Still a little bit until the next stun. They're unwilling to cross past the wards. Somewhat suicidally jumps in there, but we'll see if Fnatic stick to this push. Still only the 2 of them up here. They looks like they do have Universe. Alright.
I mean, I'm not sure how whether pushing this is a good idea. It's gonna take them forever.
Yeah. Oh. Sam H spots Abed off to the side. 1437's also here. They can link up with Cuckoo, who's a little bit further up. But they do need to be careful. He doesn't have any mobility to get over here quickly. 1437 going to pop down a sentry. Does not spot the Observer or the Sentry Ward of Fnatic, unfortunately. So this space is going to be great for Fnatic to play in for the next few minutes. Oh, they can even deward this Obs. Oh man. It just runs up, QBs it, runs off. So they know that something's going on here, but 1437 is going to take another couple of sentries to figure out exactly what it is.
Yep, and very similarly to what happened in the first series, Fnatic is just gonna send their Tearblade in the jungle and just quietly farm. He's gonna show up and defend a building here and there, but that is not gonna be his primary objective. I say that though, he is rushing towards mid, pops a reflection, and looking to zone Cuckoo back away from his building.
No 57 meanwhile is back behind the tower. They spot Envy coming over here. He will be able to step the stun. Pops the drum charge. Sam H not able to get that little bit of lockdown. I think they probably would have killed him if that stun had actually landed, right? Death Ward gets popped. Tim's is right there. Plenty of lockdown. He's quite tanky with the drum build, 1300 HP on strength treads, but they still have enough. It's still very keen up top. They do finally have this Universe blink, but he gets imprisoned immediately. Tim's using the silence onto DJ to prevent the Mass Serpent Wards coming out. Universe just going to turn tail and run for it as Sam H now comes TPing in. Very good reactions from TNC. That looked a little bit disastrous, but they turn it around. Cuckoo now has his 4 staff up, which is certainly going to help with the counter initiation, and Raven. This has got to be one of the biggest features of the Battle Fury, right, on the PL, that you can just clear Ancients. It's not really something that you can do with any other build. Like, even with a Yasha, I don't know if you can necessarily stack and clear Ancients yourself. And Fnatic, big commitment for this Roshan. Everything popped. Mass Serpent Wards. They've got the Terrorblade Metamorphosis. He's double damaged up. Who are they going to give this to? Looks like it will be Envy taking that Aegis, but it might just end up being a farming Aegis. I don't know. Are they going to wait for their cooldowns? The Reflection's certainly annoying, but y'all not really caring too much. And TNC smoking, hoping that somebody is going to come down bottom and deal with this wave that's pushing in. But Fnatic maybe have no such plans. They're still hanging around as a team on the mid lane. Probably eager to make use of the primal split. Universe gonna go retreat up to the high ground with the rest of the team. And Fnatic with only a few seconds of Metamorphosis left will continue this push in. There is a glyph available. Cuckoo with the force dive actually gonna go forcing in, gets the imprisonment off onto Envy, but now he's in a really jeopardized position. HP immediately gets stomped up and looks like he might just get right click down. I don't know what Cuckoo was thinking. He does manage to tap the shrine. He's also got an imprisonment, but no, it's right click to death. He must have thought that his team had his back or that they could find an initiation there, but that ended up just being a bit of a mess. Raven does manage to take out the tier 2 at bottom at the same time, and they force Envy's TP. He throws out the Sunder. That looks like Raven should be fine to disengage. I mean, his life to stop the push and get the tier 2 bottom, I don't think that's worth, but Raven at least made it into not so terrible of a trade. Alright, Abed just rushing BKB. Fnatic, this very much seems like they are on the warpath, right? To me it feels like they're going to finish the BKB on Abed, they're going to get the Vlads on the Brewmaster, they get the Manta on the Terrorblade, and that's probably it in terms of the timing. I get the feeling that they do not want to go late against this PL build, they're not willing to go late against the OD. The TNC definitely seem, they're all aboard the late game train right now. OD even queuing up a Midas after that 4-staff. Tim's gonna spot out DJ, roll through, gets hexed up. They are gonna drop down the Mass Serpent Wards, helping to control the space around here. Earth Spirit can at least get off the Magnetize. Nice boulder smash from Tim and the Dragon Axe Silence, but Envy comes in. They clean up the 2 supports. 2-for-1 support trade is TNC gonna tap their shrine on the way out. They still have not managed to de-ward everything around here, so Fnatic still with some vision. Nice spike Carapace from the Nyx. He still slept for a little bit longer. Universe, no primal split for 40 seconds. We'll get the blink clap. Has Sam H figured out where the ward is? I think he has. And Nyx Assassin also going Midas. Oh, has already picked up Midas. So if they can hold, the late game is looking alright between all the item decisions, but Fnatic trying extremely hard to punish.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And now Raven can get reflection up. Cuckoo trying to escape. He does have the 4-staff, getting a little bit further out. Envy just forcing that, actually using the Metamorphosis. Universe still also hot on pursuit. Not going to be able to get the blink clap though. Cuckoo looks like he's actually out of there. Envy should, I guess they go clean up the mid tier 2.
Yeah, they're all rushing there. Yeah. I mean, that Aegis is still running for a little bit while. I don't think they can actually. Yeah, I don't know if they could pressure high ground or anything. Looks like this will end up being like a farming agent.
So TNC's high ground defense is not great, right? They don't really have that much spam. There's like a PL Ags to talk about, but I somehow doubt that Raven's going to be going for an Aghanim Scepter with this build. Looks like he's already got everything planned out. SNY into a village. Tims gets the kick away, manages to dodge the stomp. Nicely done by him. Envy with an Arcane Rune, just running around, spitting out illusions everywhere. Going to be shoving all the lanes. And Abed still just farming his BKB. Not necessarily that fast on the Dragon Knight, especially with the item build, but looks like he'll have it at a decent timing. He's got his level 13 now, so they've got the level 2 Elder Dragon form to help out against the illusions somewhat. But Fnatic just still biding their time. They've got cooldowns back up, so I can definitely see that they're keen to make something happen, and they do smoke. It's still only level 1 Primal Split and level 1 Mass Serpent Wards. So we'll see what they go for. There's still a tier 1 standing at bottom. Maybe they try and force a tier 3 so that they can take the shrines. Do you think that's more worth it than just going and taking the bot tier 1 and tier 2?
I think walking up high ground against this TNC team might be somewhat scary. It's not like they have a lot of AoE defense. Hold that thought here, poured out here from Cuckoo. Oh,
nope. Gonna get stomped up. Nicely done by Pi, covering the two angles. Now Cuckoo just gonna have to try and fight it out. Aegis does get reclaimed. So will his life. Cuckoo down. Dead for 50 seconds. TNC use this as a chance to go mid.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
But to answer your question, I think it's gonna be hard to push into TNC's tower without suffering some sort of consequences. It might not be like a Pitlord Firestorm, but if the Earth Spirit is able to kind of come in from the backside, or if Witch gets a good cast, you could lose a lot of your momentum by failing that high ground push. Fnatic, though, gonna go straight in, and well, with the Master, or they might just get a straight up tier 3. They're doing this
there's no glyph
really fast. Yeah.
All right, nice stun coming in from Sam H. That's going to slow down Envy a little bit. And they control this up. The PL Illusion dealing pretty nicely with the Mass Serpent Wards, but tier 3 still dropping very low. Abed runs in on the front lines. He's still got his BKB, and with that, Fnatic do just mop up the tier 3. They take a little bit of damage on their own tier 3 down at bottom. The Nyx Assassin Illusions doing their best TB impression, but with that, shrines are open, and Fnatic gonna get a huge cash injection in the next couple of minutes. That's the one thing. Fnatic they're actually not that far ahead in terms of towers. They're up a couple of kills. The net worth and the experience are quite close. But a lot of that is concentrated on this Phantom Lancer. 13k net worth on the Raven PL. He's going for a Shadow Blade up next, which I find a little bit interesting given that they already have the Nyx Assassin on their roster. But I think the Silver Edge is just so value against the Dragon Knight, right? Being able to break his Dragon's Blood just makes him extremely easy to kill. Is there anything else that's particularly worth it for Silver Edge? I guess also the Brewmaster Drunken Brawler, right?
Yep.
Tim's had the Blink, so it adds to the playmaking potential a lot that he has. Highlight Eye just working on Spirit Vessel. What do we have on Mr. DJ? Same thing that he always does. Disassembles his arcanes into an Aether Lens. Goes back to the
He
Tranquils.
loves this. He loves this.
He makes it work. His positioning is always really on point.
It helps with your positioning. You get to stay much further away.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
It's pretty sweet. Brewmaster also going for BKB, it looks like. Recipe picked up for whatever. So it's pretty no frills, and the timing is really obvious for Fnatic. It's just a matter of whether or not TNC can withstand it. Cuckoo has decided against the Blink. Against the Midas, I mean. He's decided for Blink instead, and also completing up his Hurricane Pike.
That's the best way to defend your high ground as an OD. Blink Pike. You blink right next to a hero that's sieging you, and you pike. You well, push them back, and you push yourself back into your base. You get 4 hits in, and you get a ton of int still. And you do that as many times as you possibly can. Once the fight actually happens, then you're loaded and ready to drop the hammer. And of course, you know, you do hit pretty hard.
Yeah, the one thing that he will have to be careful of is that he blinks from fog, so that there isn't a precast Hex or something on him. Because that's where that
Shackle, because that's some Lewis long arm.
Alright, well, there's the blink, so that combo is at least somewhat available now. Tim's pushing on his Earth Spirit is going to get the roll and the blink away. TP out. Nice done. Raven has his Shadow Blade, and now queuing up an Eye of Skadi. So, going to be quite difficult to deal with. Still number 1 on the net worth. OD actually struggling with the procs a little bit here. Has opted for the 40 move speed talent. It feels like the 40 move speed talent is just too good, right? Even if you... Oh, something happening up top. They've actually managed to find out the Dragon Knight. Looks like he's in some trouble. He still has the BKB, but he's actually just not taking any damage at all from the illusion. Look at that. Yeah, they really do nothing, especially with that defusal. It's pretty laughable. But TNC seem to have stabilized a bit. I guess that Fnatic are just waiting for this last BKB on. probably Roshan and Go. I don't know if they're really close to any other items. DK almost has a heavy for the OD this game. The Halberd and the Brewmaster are both real names. So as always, an escape artist survives that gank. But you can even read a little bit into the position that TNC feel like they're in this game with what Tim's has on his quick buy. He wants a gem. He feels like they just don't have really enough map control at the moment, or that they need to continue controlling the map well so that Fnatic can't just come and I guess they still have the slight benefit of the tier 1 and the tier 2 being down their bottom, but Fnatic probably for very long. And now Aegis and Chi is about to be claimed. Mass Serpent Ward's committed, but not really a huge investment for Fnatic.
Yeah, the problem for TNC right now is that because they're conceding so much map space, they're unable to actually slow down Fnatic's farm. I mean, if you look at the way that game 1 played out, TNC pretty much dominated the map, and as a result, Fnatic fell further and further behind. And looks like we might run into
SamH actually has
team play.
Gem. Oh, they try to put a stun on the universe, but they don't get it off. Can they stop the primal split? They won't be able to. SamH flubbing that really badly, and now Raven might be in a little bit of trouble as well. If they can disengage from the primal split, that would be great, but I'm not sure if they're going to be quite so lucky. And unfortunately for them, SamH is the one with the gem. They feed that over at the worst possible moment. Oh, man.
Anybody gonna pick up the gem? Alright.
Alright, Pie's on. Alright, Universe gonna grab it.
And they're gonna force a kill on the bottom side. Cuckoo blink force forward, and now Hex is gonna be there. But Raven immediately gonna pick up that kill.
Alright, and Raven may be looking for more. Envy's coming over to help out. Interested in what's going on over here. Then you're gonna sleep up onto the OD. He's got the Hurricane Pike to maybe push himself away, or he can just imprison. Blink's not gonna be quite off cooldown in time. Terrorblade does have the Thunder at the ready. Cuckoo trying to find his way out of here, but looks like no escape. Envy finishes him off. A couple of cooldowns committed for the Terrorblade, the Metamorphosis, and the 10-second BKB. I actually don't mind this line of play from TNC because it at least takes the fight away from their side of the map, right? If they'd gotten that blink stun on the Brewmaster and just maledicted and popped him, that would have actually been quite a good fight. But unfortunately, it gets turned around on them a little. Middle. Another BKB getting popped out. They want this SamH Nyx Assassin. Gonna stomp him up. Dust. Not quite connecting. It looks like they've actually found Raven as he moves his way through. Universe just gonna go for the clap. Does not have the primal split. That's the third BKB. TNC, if they can disengage after this, that would be huge. Looks like 1437 will probably pay the price for the rest of his team. But I mean, all three 10-second BKBs getting popped quickly. And that could be where the OD actually shines in this upcoming fight. 5 seconds on the respawn.
Maybe. DJ's coming in with Mass Serpent Ward, though. I think they're gonna just meet up with Envy, drop the Mass Serpent Ward, and just run at this building.
Raven, I mean, he does have a Silver Edge. Abed, they're gonna banish him up. Buyback immediately from 143. They can focus down this OD, it would be big. The Primal Book getting popped, and unfortunately, TP straight into the Earth Splitter along with the Stomp. They're gonna lose both supports right off the bat. Doesn't miss on the first couple of shots, but after that he's being hazed. He's also going to get hit by the Dragon Tail and shackled down. What can they find? Raven manages to find Pylai Die and now runs himself out of the base. Cuckoo with the buyback, looking towards Abed. SamH scurrying around as the stun in the second, but Abed does manage to get off the cheese. Universe just dodging everything, and Cuckoo, I don't know if he can escape. They've clapped down onto the Phantom Lancer. Cuckoo trying to slink into it back in, but those disables are just way too much from Fnatic. And it looks like Fnatic may have just done it. Raven's in, he's trying to fight up against Envy, but not doing nearly enough damage. Now there's the reflection. The Invis not helping at all against this gem on Universe. Raven needs another doppelganger. Looks like he is going to be able to make it back to his fountain. Deej almost caught by SamH. The Drunken Haze not quite enough. Spiked Carapace attempted TP out, but I think he might just get right-clicked to death.
Man, that gem drop just turned around the game so much, because all of a sudden that PL just, and the Nyx actually, they just can't play.
Yeah,
and that's
Tim's nice two-man stun. They get the break out of the Dragon Eddy, pops the BKB. That Abed, Eternal Enemy still has the Aegis, but they'll at least get rid of the Metamorphosis. Can they stay on top of Universe? They're doing a good job of canceling his blink. Tim's still chasing after him. Sam H with the Mana Burn. Alright, they finish off Universe. Can they go back for Envy? That's the question. Envy doesn't have a CP scroll. He's running for the enemy fountain. He's going to be able to grab when he pops the BKB. And that'll be the end of that. Does manage to TP out. Meanwhile, the mid-melee barracks get cleaned up. But siege creeps. And despite a hold from TNC, I mean, Fnatic got everything that they could have wanted. I mean, bottom lane is even gonna end up dropping.
I mean, the other thing about this game is that let's pretend for a second that TNC still have their main base, right? Like, let's pretend that Fnatic was unable to get the top end middle Redux. They still have map control, and keep in mind that they have done 2 rows so far. The next Roshan give Shaman the Refresher Shard, and if they retain map control for that, they just double Serpent Ward for a lane. So I do feel like there's a huge sense of urgency for TNC, and that's why they bought the gem. They just need to wrestle back map control ASAP. And honestly, they have been very unfortunate. Sam H now runs into another sentry.
DJ just gonna lock him down. Tim comes rolling in with a silence for the save. That's gonna do some work. They will be able to clean up the wards. Envy coming through, drops the reflection, looks towards 1437. Does he have the meta? He doesn't, but he doesn't even need it. He 3-shots the Witch Doctor. PL still on the run and charging forward. Tim's roll away, but doesn't actually have any rocks left. The constant fighting has left him with no resources, and he's just gonna be completely killed off. Universe in front of him, Envy behind, and this is looking like it might just be it, Lumi. It's like you've been saying, Fnatic still have map control, could wait around for another Roche if they really wanted to, but at this point they just seem so strong.
The way that Fnatic is itemizing and going for this timing push as they find Sam H, but he blinks away, but he's actually stuck up there. Do they have the vision on him? Oh god, how's...
There is a path through there, I'm pretty sure. But
yeah, there is. But I think they thought that he blinked over the trees. But I was saying this this triple BKB timing, this really is reminiscent of the Chinese team. This is kind of what they all do. Triple BKB timing push.
Just make a couple of heroes on the enemy team completely useless. In this case, it's actually the vast majority are going. Envy taking a little bit of damage here. Does still have his BKB, gonna pop it off. Has the Sunder at ready, not really gaining very much HP off of 1437. Raven now popping a BKB, but just getting mowed down by all the illusions. And Abed standing strong in the front line, still has his BKB at the ready. Raven needs to heal up. 147, doing his best to help him out. Cuckoo with the Imprison, did not have the Hurricane Pike off cooldown, so can't event outside of the base. They get the Dragon Tail onto the Witch Doctor. 147 just brought down. Universe pops the BKB straight into the Primal Split. Just knows that he has to run interference for a couple of seconds, and Fnatic will be able to clean up this lane of Rax. And yeah, with that, 1437 gonna tap out, call the GG, and see if they can do a little bit better in game 3. What do you think went wrong, Lumi? Too greedy of a draft? Didn't do as well as they thought in the lanes? TNC just looked... Yeah, it didn't look good at all. Huge contrast between game 1 and game 2.
Deal with the group up push. Nyx Assassin doesn't have enough kind of teamfight AoE to take it.
TNC's turn to pick.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Needs assassin.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
That they pick is going to be in for a not so fun time.
At the same time, you got the Savage Resistance, so
true.
It might not be like the most important, most effective thing
Dire
to
team pick.
throw these kind of pseudo disable at them. But looks like we still relatively have a similar draft here. Nyx Assassin and PL being picked up. With the Bane, the Nyx actually can be a very strong 4 because the Bane sets up for the Nyx. For initiation, and then now TNC could do a final pick for Sam H and get a very good AoE if they don't want to fall to the same strategy that they did just now. Meanwhile, with the Rubik pickup, this is going to mean Pylai Die will playing these 4s now as 5s, and he's been getting away with it. ET, of course, is the most popular run that they run, and then we saw him play Doom earlier, and most likely he'll play Night Stalker here.
This is a better Rubik game, I think, than the earlier one. I think there's a little bit more to steal. Bane is quite good, but both teams kind of sticking to their guns, huh? Like TNC going for the somewhat comfort picks, bringing in the Nyx Assassin and Phantom Lancer, and Fnatic somewhat going for the if it ain't broke, don't fix it approach of just jamming the same cores together so far. That Lycan does get banned, and I think for very good reason. It would have fit in just fine with what Fnatic are looking to do this game. And I guess we'll have to see what the Envy hero is going to end up being.
5 seconds.
They could. I mean, the TV's banned. What
Lycan's
else?
banned.
Yeah. They could just like gyro, but then he's maybe a bit susceptible to some of the burst. Yeah, Fnatic worried about that switch up of the Nyx Assassin going to 4, and then just a big AoE team fighter coming in for TNC in the last spot. I don't know of any. Nothing really jumps out as a great replacement for Tide. Oh yeah, the Monkey King maybe for Fnatic. But what about replacing that Tide or something similar on the TNC side? Because they can't really, like, Void feels too greedy. I don't think Centaur necessarily fulfills the same role. It's close, but not 100%. I mean, maybe Magnus, but it seems like a really hard Magnus game against Rubik, against Night Stalker.
When in doubt, pick Pit Lord.
Yeah, actually a pretty good. I think it's a pretty good Underlord game, except for the fact that you might be giving away Firestorm to Rubik, and he's going to get farm with that. But I mean, you just have to deal. I don't think that's enough of a reason not to pick the hero. But is it going to be the Monkey King again? No. All right, Fnatic picks Sven.
然后这边继续来推，这边是隐身符加一个暗影护符，双钓鱼执法。
Choose your hero.
Scenario, but they might be exposing themselves to the Rubik Night Stalker just running around and killing their tiny a whole bunch. So tough call, but it could be the decision that makes or breaks this
10
game.
seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I'm not sure if you could aggressively trialing against Sven and expect to get kills. Like, Warcry is such a strong defensive ability. Maybe. I think what we're likely going to see is that if they do run offensive, 1437 is going to start mid, poke in the lane for a bit, and then go back to whichever lane that he intended to go to in the first place.
Yeah, seems going to be... something like that. I feel like they actually have kill potential on the D. The heroes that they but I would say that whichever team wins out of whichever team wins out of these two will probably end up winning that final as well, more than likely. So, or they're the favorite going into it. Oh, this is a big look at the smoke movement from Fnatic. This is everybody. Who are they going to find? It will be 1437. He is going to get stunned up. No way for him to really escape. Who are they going to give the first blood to is the question, and it will end up being Universe who grabs it. All right. Nice for him. Raven, all he can do is just stand there and watch. I don't think he even moved. He just like probably moved his camera over, saw that 1437 was dead, and stayed exactly on his spot.
I thought we were gonna get a game without pause.
Psych. Is that how you know that Envy is level 1 smoke ganking you? He does it if Fnatic don't pause the game.
Oh my god.
It's like the PPD, like the 2 lines for good luck, have fun. you're smoking. That was a great moment against you're playing against Mason, I think. Oh, the mind games, Lumi. The mind games.
Do you think when Cloud9 went up against Vici Gaming at TI, did they pause the game before they smoked to Roche and then lost that best of 3 series?
I don't remember. Are you allowed to pause the game right at the beginning at TI? I feel like it doesn't happen very often.
I'm sure MD will
probably not
and be like, my chair.
Yeah, my chair is the wrong height. Like, no, and just the lever, dude, just the lever. But again, Fnatic with this show the actual offlaner and then use the melee support to steal the wave. It's pretty interesting. It seems to, it's been working pretty well. I don't know what the counterplay really is, because it could be either of them that's actually going for the wave steal. So if you go and wait for Pi, I'm sure if you were staring at Pi, then Universe would actually just do it himself. Got some damage on Tim's. He won't be able to get the stun off. Does get lifted back up. Nicely done by DJ. Sam H just laying down mad sticky stacks. Hardly anybody has any CS just yet. There's enfeebles and harassment and wave pulls, so everybody's struggling somewhat. But I like this decision to put a lot of pressure on the Sven early on, the Nyx Assassin and the Batrider. I mean, it's kind of what Fnatic are doing with the Night Stalker in the offlane, but he's opting to steal the wave instead of actually pressuring. Abed manning up 2v1 on mid lane. As manly as he can be against the people. Oh, was that glyph to stop him getting the last hit?
I mean, that's the way to go. I'm surprised that people don't do it more frequently, because you generally don't need glyph until much later. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I mean, I bet even pushing it in under the tower a little bit more. This is a triple range creep. How many of these can Cuckoo actually get? Set him up 1, 4, 3, 7. There you go. Oh, which one will we choose? Oh, they messed it up. He could have gotten the one that was already damaged, but he wanted the guaranteed. Oh, it turned out it wasn't guaranteed because 147 did not alley him.
That should help.
Okay, Nyx Assassin is actually the one farming up here, or he has been. Tim's getting 6 CS, gonna be able to pick up some boots pretty quickly. Sam H, interesting build, pointing the flame break early on. No Firefly just yet. What do you make of this? I guess it's maybe to help set up with the Nyx Assassin. It's actually decent damage, but let's see. How's his bottom lane going? Raven still getting some farm. Universe 5 and 4. Raven 7 and 6. So the lane pulling maybe not having the completely anticipated outcome. If somebody was down here, Raven would have already slammed Pylai into the tower, but unfortunately for him, everybody is showing on lanes and they're just running 2-2-1. So poor old me gonna be done for himself. Ooh.
I feel that. Oh, that was lagging. Yeah, that was a big lag. I feel that even if you have somebody there to toss Pylai back, I mean, Night Stalker is such a tanky hero. 6 base armor, he's got boots, he's got style shield. He probably survives that. And you know, they're making a trade-off. It's like, okay, well, instead of giving Raven a better lane, they want to shut down Abed, which is fine.
Yeah, it's not really happening though. Abed's still just muscling through everything. He's got his soul ring, he's got the 2 points in breathe fire.
Abed with 38 base damage is actually like LCSing everyone.
Yep,
that's crazy.
Well, down bottom. Alright, they're going on Raven. 147's down here. Raven's got the toss. Looks like this should be our, well, not our first blood. The kills, that kill was on 147 earlier, but TNC do manage to find a nice little rotation right as 147 leaves the mid lane. Eternal Envy does have 16 wand charges if they want to try and go on Tim's, but he is just being such a nuisance. I mean, look at he's only got 5 CS. They don't have any way to protect this Sven's lane, really. I mean, they could bring Pi over soon, and that might be what they do. Try and get a kill up there and start creating some space.
I imagine that's what exactly he'll do during the first night. If he takes both these bounty, he hits level 3, and then he'll probably rotate up top now.
And does not have a TP just yet. Stops for the second point in the void.
Unless he set up kill here? I don't know.
He may have been scouted. There's actually a Radiant Obs just over here blocking out this camp. So they probably know that he's down here. Raven's going to spot him now. The creep wave's under the tower. Doesn't toss him all the way to the range creep. It's just going to be a little bit of harassment. It's no kill. Doesn't even have enough mana for the avalanche. But knowing that the Night Stalker is down there, Tim moves forward a little bit more aggressively up top. DJ doing his best to zone him back with the Fade Bolt, but Tim still has Nyx regen, so he's going to be A-okay. Mid lane, still pretty much a wash, but the Phantom Lancer, I mean, this is what you were talking about, right, Lumi, with the Dragon Knight, that you start to hit this point where he just wins the war of attrition against a lot of heroes because he just out-sustains you.
I'm surprised.
He's going to have to go Shrine.
Yeah, well, he's just brought us out and
Ooh, Raven will be dead. Universe one more touch at bottom. 147, not able to keep him alive. And Universe able to just salve up and keep on going. Alright, Pi's patience down bottom works out.
This has got to be one of the most least effective Bane games I've seen. And it's not like 1437 is doing anything wrong. I just feel like Fnatic's playing around it very, very well. Like, Abed just says, okay, I'm going to last it under Feeble, no problem. And on the bottom side, they are... And the Bane beam there is also not preventing any kills.
Alright. Universe, long toss back all the way underneath the tower. Can they kill him here? There's the avalanche. He's got the wand charges. Just gonna run for it. He's a very tanky boy. Toss the Bane, however. And that'll... Alright, nicely done by TNC. Bane ran all the way forward, Nightmare ran all the way back to the tower, and still got that kill. Abed, level 6, has the Dragon Form pops. This is lining up with the Siege Creep push. Pylodai and DJ both rotating through. Cuckoo doing the same build again, only 1 point in the Spirit Lance. I think this build makes a little bit more sense against the Dragonite, where I don't think you can really harass him that much. Stun gonna miss. Tims and 1-4-3-7 very keen to hold on to this tier 1 tower at mid if they can. Abed a bit too ticky to do anything about. Less 10 launch reserved. So an attempted push by Fnatic. They got some pretty worthwhile damage on the tower, and they forced the support rotations. Sam H is finding really nice levels and some pretty decent farm up top. Envy is still behind and working his way through the jungle to try and catch up. 3 points up in the cleave. There's a little mini stack here for him. He could stack it again. I think he may have gone too early. Nope. Alright, nice. Gets another round of pretty good creeps with the ogres. Should not doubt Eternal Envy's carry. Oh, Raven. Alright, there's the Ava. The toss is actually on cooldown. 1-4-3-7 with the Nightmare. Throws up the Enfeeble. Pylodai not gonna be able to do too much more. And only 40 more seconds of this first nighttime left.
Surprised that they gave top no attention at all. But I guess with Sven in the jungle, DJ could just soak. And they call it a day.
Well, they're looking for Abed here at mid. They don't have the lasso just yet. They're trying to run him down with the drum Bat Rider. Abed was sitting in the breathe fire for like 10 seconds against Tims. And then I don't think he actually got the Carapace Reflect. Or maybe he did, but still not enough. Abed quite tanky on that Dragonite. Gonna take a pretty big investment to kill him. And nope, I don't know if he's been stacking this with the Breathe Fire the whole time. Okay, he doesn't get it that time. So they are just setting up stacks for Envy to try and catch him back up into this game, so they can kind of drag him along. What else is happening? Raven, only 24 CS, still working his initial couple of items. Not clear at all what the build is going to be for the Tiny. It does look like the Phantom Lancer might be going for the... Well, I don't know if he's actually going to go for the Battle Fury this game. It feels like Fnatic's heroes are actually very susceptible to the Diffusal Blade Mana Burn, right? If you can Mana Burn out the Brewmaster before he gets his ultimate off, that's very, very scary. So I'd like to see the Diffu, but... last 2 games, it's been Battle Furyville, so...
I think it's pretty hard to actually get so many illusion attacking the PL, or not the PL, the Brewmaster, unless he's stunned. But if he's stunned, he's probably just dead too, right?
Probably. I guess maybe they already have Mana Burn covered on Tims. He's been spamming it like a madman, just making life a bit more difficult. They're gonna get a Nightmare up on the Dragonite. They've already got 3 stacks here, but there's a bunch of TPs. Stun only onto 1. Samage committing pretty hard, but there's mad stuns to try and burst him down. DJ also completes his TP, gets the lift back, and now Abed not stuck up nearly enough. Still has all those wand charges. Fnatic just TP'd literally every hero to mid lane. They're gonna pop the Primal Split. They're looking for this Nyx Assassin kill, waiting for the boulder to cool down, bring him back down into the silence. And Tims will end up dying. Maybe just an overextension from TNC there. Or maybe they were not anticipating that there could be that many TPs to come and defend. But Abed gets to use the ultimate to pretty much take out this tier 1 at mid. And 147 manages to hold on to it a little bit longer. But that damage is still adding up.
Dire structures are fortified.
And now we got the drum for Abed, looking like the same kind of build as last game, at least so far. Interesting to me that he opts for the drum before picking up power treads. I feel like my intuition on the situation would be that, oh, you can use the... Oh, I's dead. So you could just use the power treads to stretch your soul ring, right? But I guess the drum is just such a value item. He just used the Dragon Tail to get a CS. Did you see that?
Yeah, man, that's 25 damage.
Yeah.
How do you think he's been CSing
this whole time? It's just been the Dragon Tail. He's got the Arcane Rune.
Dragon Tail, yeah.
No. Yeah, we don't actually think that. There's no flame. Brewmaster doing pretty well on the farm. 1500 gold to his blink.
I mean, that's one of the universe's strength. Like, he is such a stable player. You throw him in in lane, especially in a decent lane. He is gonna get farm.
Alright, no sign of the Phantom Lancers build just yet. I don't know if the last 2 times they actually, if Cuckoo and Raven got all the little items, like when they were leading up to the Battle Fury, or...
Yes, it's base boots, Aquila, no drums. Was there drums? I don't remember there being any drums. And then they'll go Battle Fury.
No. Yeah. Alright, we're just holding onto this tower with the haze. Tims has spotted Envy over in the trees. He's actually farming relatively low. They need to land the stun. Cuckoo rushing over. The land's not doing that much damage, but the mana burn finishes him off. Abed arrives now with a TP. DJ as well. Looks like they were smoked elsewhere. Pylai was actually trying for some kind of a wraparound. They try and push him down onto the low ground, but he's going to be fine, escaping with the Hunter in the night. And Fnatic now looking for a little bit of a turnaround. They do have that primal split ready to go once again. They actually spot the Phantom Lancer, gonna silence him up, and no escape whatsoever for Cuckoo. He's just dead. Alright, the smoke still connects, not quite in the way that they were expecting it to, but definitely a kill that they were hoping for.
Now Tims hunting in the mid lane. DJ could be a fairly easy kill, but looks like they're gonna go for 1437. Was it a bait? Oh, I can't even get the initiation.
Envy Sven has a double damage. Wanted to try and come and do something, but looks like instead this is probably a good opportunity to use this to just take the Ancients, right? Pop ulti and clean it up. Standing right on top of a Radiant Observer here. Tim, what's he gonna go for? Tries to lob at the stun. Raven coming around the corner with the Avitas combination at the ready, but they have to be a little bit careful of this Brewmaster. Alright, Envy's just popping the ultimate for some farm, but now they get the Fiend's Grip out onto the Brew. Can they put him down in time? They're holding onto their spells. The toss. He's dead before he hits the ground. On the other side, Rubik's managed to steal the grip, and he's got the Bat Rider trapped inside of the neutral. Sam H is going to be brought down. They do manage to finally Nightmare up DJ, but that is the beauty of playing the Rubik against the Bane. No way for him to cover the Fiend's Grip really at all, and now Tims looks like he might also get caught. Spiked Carapace is the steal. Get the lift back. Don't give him the opportunity to use the Carapace of his own. He does have the Vendetta. Does DJ have any detection? Nope, he's a greedy support. And Tim's just going to make it out of there. Pylai buys the dust. And puts it in his stash. As a response. No, can they cancel this? Yes, they can. That primal split comes out just that little bit faster these days. And Raven gonna get some stuff and looks like just run down. Can they give this last hit to Envy? Would be nice if they could. He's actually got an avalanche soon. They're gonna leave it to Universe to finish the kill. And Envy farming. Up top, they've actually managed to jump in onto DJ, and Cuckoo mows him down. He is, in fact, going for the Battle Fury build once again on his Phantom Lancer. Perseverance flying out. Have you become a fan of this build, Lumi, since watching these couple of games, or still trying to get a read on it?
I'm just wondering, like, if it's necessary, because I feel like the feasibility lets you fight your way into being ahead, but I guess this is much more consistent. You could jungle much better as well, which is, you know, PL could always jungle, but now he could do it the next level.
Yeah. I feel like it's kind of looking at Doppelganger and being like, oh, well, this is kind of similar to Time Walk or Anti-Mage Blink, so why not just play like one of those heroes, which goes against the conventional wisdom of max your nuke first. Ooh, Tims is going to be able to spike Carapace on these creeps to easily set up on Envy, though Envy is actually suspicious. They've got the dire scan. He realizes what's going on. Tim's still hunting him. They're going to cut for the shorter path. Tiny does actually have Blink to close the gap if they can just find this opportunity on Envy, but if he's standing right on top of the shrine, it's not going to be so easy. And yeah, Raven instead just clears up the wave a little bit, backs out. Got some DK illusions floating around. They do get a stun onto the Nyx Assassin now. Tim's in a bit of trouble. Pops a spike. Carapace, can they stop him? No, TP out. Very nice.
Wow. DJ couldn't Fable?
Oh, yeah, maybe he could have. I mean, he got the steal off, which is slightly longer range, but maybe a bit of a mess up. He's just going for a drum. Hi, what's he got? Doesn't even have his phase boots yet, so he is actually, I mean, he's ahead of the Rubik in terms of the net worth, but it does look like he's Gonna end up in the 5 once again. It's a decent game for a farmed Rubik. See what DJ can do. He's certainly a magician on his Shadow Shaman, but Rubik a little bit less consistent to have an impact on. But the ceiling is that much higher, right? In terms of if you get the right steals at the right times and the enemy team isn't expecting it, can easily win a fight. And he's still just using ultimates to farm. Big surprises. He's kind of playing like a Medusa, just farming the Tri-Camp stack, the Tri-Camp area. He knows that it's really safe over here. It's hard to go on him. The Nyx Assassin has been hunting him this entire time, so he's, I think, 100% right to be a little bit wary. But yeah, TNC haven't been able to find him. They probably feel like the Dragon Knight is too big a commitment to kill. Like, it's 1900 HP. They're already working on his BKB.
And the danger... Yeah. Is that if you go for an Atari, you survive long enough, and then...
They found Envy. Alright, there's Grip, Avatos. He can't dodge them forever. And TNC will finally find him.
Ooh. Envy is just in Struck City. He was like about in the middle in terms of net worth, but finally farmed his way back and then just...
Oh, Cuckoo, he's used the Doppelganger. He just needs to hide in amongst the illusions. They've got the wrong one. He's still just playing dumb, trying to run away with the fake one. And that will end up fooling Fnatic, but now DJ, can he escape? He's still holding onto the Spiked Carapace. He has his wand charges as well. Cuckoo just getting baited in a little bit further. They get the stun off the Doppel forward. DJ almost dead. Gets stunned up, and now Raven arrives. Avatos combo. They're still being wary of Universe with his ultimate ready to go. But alright, they're just going to end up getting the Rubik kill and then back themselves out. TNC. We've seen them translate very small leads into... like really good map control, and they have opened up the map a little bit more now that they've taken out this bottom tier 1. Do you think that's just the kind of road that they're looking to take here? Ooh, 147 just barely getting the Nightmare off. It looks like Pi should be able to cancel his TP, and he is going to end up dropping. Maybe he wishes people before he dies, but down he goes.
Looks like we're gonna see a relatively same item build here from Universe. Goes BKB straight up. Although I don't think this is as good of a BKB game compared to the last one. Namely, both Bane and Batrider goes through it, so...
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess they're just trying to hit that mass BKB timing, but... Yeah, you're right. What is it really protecting him from? The Nyx stun... Tiny combo. Oh, Cuckoo getting very low. Doppelganger's on cooldown for a little bit. Can they finish him off? Doppel away. Needs to try and fake them out. He's going to be able to. There's just way too many Fnatic heroes here. And he will end up being brought down. It's a primal split used for just the 1 kill. And let's see if Fnatic can segue this into anything else.
Don't forget that
maybe not.
If you use the spell magic from your Storm Regent onto the PL, the weak ones just instantly die.
Yeah. And
the ones you get from Doppelganger take a significant amount of damage, so you could quickly and easily tell which is the real hero.
Action on mid. DJ gets the steal off onto the Brain Sap. It looks like Sam H might just be able to nuke him down here. Note the Sap, and he didn't make it down onto the low ground. DJ surviving. I mean, I don't think the Brain Sap even made that much of a difference, but Sam H using that. I think that was his blink reveal as well, and they didn't even get that kill. That's not a good look for TNC, as they also end up losing 1437 in the chaos. Abed now has his BKB. Envy has finished up his Echo Saber, now queuing up a blink, so still a couple of items, so still the blink to go until he look at the BKB, I guess. But a double damage for Abed. Looks like this might just be farming though.
The problem with all of these early BKBs that we're seeing here from DK, from Brewmaster, is that the opportunity cost of getting these items is that you're foregoing a farm item. So if you go for the early BKB, you go for a base push, it doesn't work out. Not only are you down a couple of BKB charges, you also down a bunch of gold that you would have gotten if you just like farm for, I don't know, a Shadow Blade. It lets you hit faster. So Again, I've already expressed my concern about the all-in push.
well, they didn't get what they were hoping for, but still forcing the 10-second BKB charge on the Dragon Knight and having it not do anything while Cuckoo is able to just go right back to farming. I'm gonna call that a win for TNC any day of the week.